I'm shaking in my boots right now
Why?
because
I love these one-word answers to everything.
Isn't it amazing?
Because
I know what you like.
Well, that was definitely more than one word.
Exactly.
I'm just curious, and I'm bringing this back down. Why the animosity, Kelvin? I'm serious. Why are you so
I don't
animosity?
have any animosity, man. I'm a character.
My YouTube channel
Now
is the
you're being
same name as my
dishonest.
room, by the way.
No.
Yeah, you are.
Who are you? Who are you to determine who I am? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Why are you trying to like use this information and try to turn me into something that I'm not? That's the question.
Literally, right after I asked you why you're being animosity, why you're being like this,
And I said
you
I'm
just
not.
yeah, I know, and then you just exploded after the fact. Again, you've been exploding this
No.
entire time,
I
bud.
asked you a question, and I told you that I'm a character. What are you talking about?
Yes, your character being animosity.
My character can express itself as it wills to express itself. You have no jurisdiction over that.
I never said I
Factually.
did.
Well,
That's why I
I'm
asked
just
you why
reminding
are
you.
you being like this.
Reminding you.
I didn't tell you how to act. I asked
Maybe
you
maybe it
why
just
you're acting like
entertains it,
this.
right? Maybe it just entertains him. He wants to, right?
Exactly. Thank you, brother. You
Yeah,
understood.
maybe
Well,
I
that's different from what his original answer was, because his original answer was I'm not. That's what his original
And
answer
he
was.
understood what I said when I said my character.
I mean, your answers are constantly changing all the time.
Like time.
Like
Like
how
time.
can I take anything you say seriously when I can't even get clear answers that are consistent?
Because things in nature are always changing. That's what you guys believe.
doesn't morality
Oh yeah,
change
I
over
do
time
believe
what we
things are
consider
always
right or wrong?
changing.
What we consider
So
right or
here I
wrong,
am.
doesn't that change over time?
Right.
Doesn't morality that we stand on change over time what we consider right or wrong?
Right.
We can consider one
No.
thing.
Yes.
You said no and yes?
Yeah, morality
So
is
so
definitely subjective.
It is subjective, so something it
yes,
changes over times, right? So I can't.
so hold on.
But
There's
morality
different
being
notions.
subjective does not. Go
There's
ahead.
different notions of morality. So no, it's okay. Go ahead. There's different notions of reality. So when I said no, I was going to qualify that by it depends what you mean by morality.
Uh,
Yeah, I see the brother want to say
morality
something right here, so go ahead.
morality is not subjective, but that does not change the fact that there are a lot of people who believe that it's objective. Like,
Yeah. And so, like, we're just talking about what ought people do, right? In morality, that's basically the discussion, right? About what
right,
ought we do.
right.
And I reject the notion that you can get an ought from an is, you know, that you have to qualify why you ought to do something. And for me, like with morality, you know, I don't want to live in a society that promotes the detriment to my well-being. Therefore, I ought
Welcome
to
to America.
promote actions that are conducive and propagate the well-being of the society that I live in.
Well, I think the
That's where I
brother
get
has a
my
point
ought.
though. Welcome to America. Would you disagree?
Right, what?
So,
The brother said welcome to America when you just said that. Will you disagree?
I don't understand how that has anything to do. What? How does
Describe,
that have anything to do with what
describe
I
what
just said?
Maybe you got
describe.
to be more literal. They don't understand when you
Just
say things like
describe
that.
America because you said that you don't want to live in a society that does X, Y, and Z and whatnot. And so this society does it. This
The
world
society does what?
this worldly system does exactly what you're running away from and hoping that wouldn't
No,
happen.
I never said that I lived in a perfect society. I said I don't want to
Nobody
live in a
said
society that
perfect.
promotes certain behaviors and doesn't promote certain behaviors.
Well,
And
America does.
I never said that this society was perfect, but it's the
like,
society
And
that I'm
never
living
said
as
in.
perfect either.
It's a society that I was born into and that I live in. I have no option but to live here, right? I have no
You have no
option but
option?
to live in the society that I was born and raised into.
Says who?
What I do have an option of is changing the society and what it should
Oh, you trembling
uh
with fear right
what
now.
it
You
should
gotta say those words straight. Speak straight.
Yeah, it
What?
is. It is,
I'm
but
trying. I'm
a
trying to get
lot of
my.
people do
Please,
act out.
please
I stutter just like any other
A
human
lot.
being
interrupting.
does.
A lot of people do.
Sometimes I mix up my
Stop
words, and it's
interrupting.
okay. There's nothing wrong with mixing up words.
Yeah, I'm not
It's not a
shaming you
big
for.
deal.
I'm not shaming you for that. I don't. I'm
I
not.
know, but
Stop
Kelvin's in
interrupting,
here with
please.
Funny because
Kelvin's in
earlier
here trying to start some shit.
words
So
like
you know.
nothing, like
Stop
spaghetti
interrupting,
noodles.
please. Stop interrupting,
Bring it out.
please.
Yeah, I
No.
wasn't shaming because he
You're
stutter. I
still
stutter
interrupting.
also.
Please stop interrupting.
Yeah. So I'll be the first to admit that I don't live in a perfect society.
See, he was almost done. I
Yeah,
don't understand.
yeah. What I'm trying to do is that is acting out of faith. 'Cause some people actually want to stay there and make a change. Would you disagree? The places that you
Wait.
don't want to, the places that you don't want to stay in, the societies that you wouldn't. Some people will stay there and actually make a change, right? Would you agree? Or they'll just run away.
Yeah. Yeah. So I say I don't want to live in a society that promotes certain behaviors and doesn't promote certain behaviors. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that I'm not going to live in a society that's like that. It's I'm expressing what I want and I don't want. And then I'm qualifying if those are the things that I want, then what ought I do?
Be an example.
Exactly. That's where I get my oughts. That's what I was trying to get to that point. That's where I derive my morality.
That's called being a light in the darkness, by the way.
I mean, so you guys agree though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, brother.
Okay.
I never disagreed
Then
with nothing
great,
you
great.
said.
Okay.
Yeah, I never.
I mean, a lot of people tell me, especially theists, tell me that they get their morality from their Bible or that it's commanded to them.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
never disagreed with
expressed.
none of you said. I just wanted some clarity.
It's expressed because human behavior is documented not just in the Bible, but in books all over the world, man. And we can learn from these books and learn from past times what's reputable and what is not. I mean, like the brother
Oh,
said,
so
the
we don't need
definitions
a
may
God at
change,
all.
but the
No need
course of
for a God at
actions and the
all.
result, the response to that, no, it's always the same. It's like math.
Hmm.
All right.
That's amazing. We don't even need a God at all. That's amazing.
I mean, if we want to put it in that sense, we have each other, at least.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah, Shanita, I appreciate you for that. I never disagreed with you. I just wanted some clarity. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, man, not a problem. See, I mean, and I appreciate you being cordial with me. I appreciate, it goes a long way when people are just being calm and trying to have a good conversation with each other,
So Nito, come on, man. That's how we started. That's how we can end it.
Uh,
In the middle. I'm okay. Sanito, for real, for real. I meant no offense to you. I apologize. Forgive me,
oh
okay?
no, I'm not offended. I
Oh,
don't take
but I want to
offense.
make sure that in any shape, way, or form, that anything that I've displayed, had any sort of impact on the negative side. Just like we're talking about right now, making our society better. This is where it begins. It's recognition. I was
Yeah.
wrong in certain parts of what I said and what I did. Yes, I admit it.
All right. Hey, I respect that, brother. Thank you.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
I have a conscience, man. I'm aware. Empathy, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like sometimes when I speak, I like to get clarity. I don't like to argue it. If I disagree, I'll say I disagree. But sometimes I just like to get clarity, understanding, and it's best to understand more what somebody's saying than just arguing and disagreeing. You know what I'm saying? Best to take some knowledge and to understand other people's perspective. You know what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And Sahi, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but you were actually talking about morality earlier, about subjective morality. So did you want to go into that more? Or?
I mean, we can. I mean, I will be 100% honest and say I have ADHD and I don't remember even the context anymore.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I felt like you got kind of interrupted there, and I wanted to make sure you didn't want to like continue the conversation or had something else to say about it.
No, it's okay. I mean, it is my position that morality is subjective. It can't be objective.
Yeah, you and I agree on that.
I'm on the fence.
But
I have no idea.
the objective side, go ahead,
So
Donald.
we can make objective assessments about our moral values. You know, if you value not being raped, and then you can make it objective assessments towards that value, right? Like,
I can definitely
you know,
agree with that.
Right. I can say objectively that I do not want to be raped. But
Yeah.
I can't say that something is objectively wrong, because to say that it's objectively wrong means that it has always been wrong and will always continue to be wrong.
Yeah. Well, I think I just want to clarify on that. So you subjectively, not objectively, you subjectively don't want to be raped, and then you can make objective assessments towards that goal, right? So, like, if you don't want to be raped, then it is objectively true that you promote certain actions and disapprove of other actions that would get to that goal.
Yes, but I also can say that it is an objective truth that I do not want to be raped.
Well,
That,
but
that is something that has always and will always be true about me.
Yeah.
But can I say it's absolutely wrong if anybody gets raped though?
Sure, I agree.
So, you can say that it's absolutely wrong.
Because I hear all the time it's subjective, objective, and absolute. So I'm saying it's absolutely wrong for anybody to get raped at any certain time. Can I say that?
Well, so they're relative terms.
You can say that. However, that follows that it is always wrong. And there are definitely points in time that people on an individual basis have not really had much of a moral stance on it one way or another. So when we talk about morality, I would say that morality is subjective to the place and the time where the action is occurring. That's not to say that I can't look at that and say that that is or was wrong, but me looking at that from my subjective perspective does not confer on it a magical always right, always wrong. I can't do that. I don't have the ability to do that.
One sec. Also, he was talking about saying, not actions. So there's a difference between what you can say and what you can do.
True.
So yeah, right, wrong, good, bad, these are relative terms. So like rape would be wrong if you value not being raped. It's not wrong if you value being raped or value raping people.
That's a very dark door to open. Very dark door, because
it's not dark. It's not dark.
You're saying that
I'm not saying values.
Okay, because if I was okay with being trafficked, that it's okay for me to traffic other humans.
No, I'm explaining to you. I'm explaining to you that right, wrong, good, and bad are relative terms. These are relative to.
Doesn't change the fact.
Listen.
Do you want? No, it does.
What he's saying is true whether you believe in God or not. What he's saying is true. Even if you take your objective standard from God, you're still taking a subjective opinion about an objective thing, which is exactly what he's saying.
So there are people walking around with no consciousness.
Not consciousness, conscience, and yes, we can demonstrate that. They're called psychopaths.
Sure,
but how can you determine that someone is a psychopath? That's subjective.
We call it a DSM.
Still subjective.
Yes, it's very subjective, but so is the mind. The mind is the thing we're talking about. The mind is subjective, so we have.
But not the action.
Yeah. I was almost done with my sentence. So we have to be talking about subjective things because we're talking about the subjective mind.
Right. So what I'm saying is that my perception of something does not make something a universal truth. And I don't think that morals can exist as universal truths because they are inherently a subjective construct that comes from people. It comes from minds.
I don't accept universals as a general rule.
Yeah.
So we all can't come to agreement on something that's absolutely wrong.
No, because it assumes that assumes that wrong is not a relative term, which it is. Wrong is a relative term. It's relative to your values.
Oh, what about something they cannot do? You said the action isn't. So what is this
So
something that's
okay, so we can agree that things are wrong, right? And we have those agreements, and we have those agreements because what causes a person to perceive something as right or wrong is largely informed by the culture that they come from, the background, the way that they're raised, and so on, right? However, us agreeing that those things are wrong does not make that thing universally wrong, because it can't be.
Until
like
the
like
law in
the
place, right?
By the way, even the God world has the same problem because you're the objective thing is God, not you. You're looking at it with your subjective mind, looking at the objective thing, so you're doing exactly the same thing that he's doing.
Nah, then we got to go to the law. Shit, because the law says what determines
Laws
the course of
change
action for someone
all
murdering
the
someone.
time. Laws change all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, the
but
law
the
says
thing
killing
is that
the law says killing an innocent baby is absolutely wrong. So I don't know.
Except
No,
when
it
it's
That
doesn't
that
abortion.
that's a
actually.
value judgment. You're imposing your value on that. That's the thing you have to understand. Some values we all share. Some values we don't share. Like there are Christians that think it's wrong for two men to get married. I don't see I don't
And
see
there
there
are
Yeah,
anything
Christians
wrong
who
with that
think,
whatsoever.
and
that's the
there,
problem.
and
That's
hang
the
on
pro.
one sec, one
Go
sec.
ahead,
There
go ahead,
also,
bro. Go
hang
ahead, go
on
ahead.
one sec,
You're
one sec,
applying a
one sec,
value
one.
judgment. I get it.
Now let
Go
Donald
for it,
finish.
Donald.
Go
No,
ahead.
sorry,
I know.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Sean. I just got
That's
blurty.
fine.
But yeah, there are also Christians who think that because their babies are under a particular age, that it's okay to drown them so that they can go to heaven for sure. That
But
has happened. Don't tell me it
Yeah,
has
I mean,
not.
but that's more niche. Not every Christians do. That's a very
I know,
niche
but
amount
it
of
has
people that
happened.
think that.
but
I'm
Christians don't go off their own moral compass. They go off Jesus' moral compass of what he consider right or wrong.
So that's
Right?
exactly what he's doing.
So that's subjective of what he's doing.
They're both
yeah,
the same thing.
it's still it's still subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is wrong is unique to each individual and their own personal values, right? But we
Like
live in a society where a lot of people have shared values. Like the majority of people in this country agree that murder is wrong because we have the shared value of we don't want to be murdered. Therefore, we ought to not allow these types of behaviors to occur, and we will uh, get rid or remove these people from our society when they do occur. That's that's the structure that we've built.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so when we say something's wrong, all we're doing is conveying a value judgment. That's it.
About a description
Something
of
that we
someone's
personally
action.
Right.
value, because not everybody does. Like
It
Ted Bundy didn't value life the way that you and I do.
but you could
You know,
you can even, rather than these big things, you can even go to things that are less big, like what is the right or wrong way to cook a certain dish, or to clean a cup,
With a set of
or
I like
theology,
to
of
go to
course.
chess. Like
yeah,
there are objectively better moves in chess than other moves. You know.
right.
Even checkers. Checkers is way more
I like
strategic than
chess.
you think.
Yeah.
I
There
also
are
like chess.
objectively good and bad moves in chess.
Sure.
The trick is trying to learn those because there's a
All of
lot.
them.
Yeah, trying to learn the better moves to make in chess. You're absolutely right.
It took
Yeah.
me 8 years to learn as many as I did, and I don't think I learned all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to check before you check bait.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
actually, you have
So
to learn how
certain
to
moves are
stalemate
objectively
first.
better or worse than others.
Stalemate is way better than checking.
You said what?
Stalemate is way better than checking.
Oh, stalemate. Okay.
Every time I've ever
Yeah. And
not
so
been able to beat somebody for a long time, and then I beat them, there was a stalemate in between. Every time.
Hmm.
most people's goal in chess is to not lose. That seems to be like one of the most effective or efficient strategies is to just
Yes,
not
it
lose,
is.
not
Just to not
necessarily to
lose.
win, to not
Yes.
lose. Yeah, that is
It's
the
an
best
excellent strategy.
Yeah, just to not lose the game.
strategy.
Just to
Just to not
not
lose.
lose.
Exactly. I mean, if you win, great, but it's best to not lose
Yeah, if you win, it's good, but
because you
the thing is just to not lose the game.
exactly because
Along the way of
the
not
game could end in
losing,
a
you'll
stalemate.
eventually find a way to win.
Yeah, game theory is a great thing to understand and learn.
Yes, it
I
is. There's
recommend
actually
a
a
lot of
really good
people.
YouTube video.
Yeah, I still play chess to this
Yeah,
day. I like chess a lot.
Veritasium has a pretty good YouTube video about game theory that it says literally everybody should watch it, and I agree. Everybody should watch it.
People disagree with me, but I feel like life is a game of chess.
Well, I mean, it's a strategy, but chess isn't the only way to deal with strategy.
I feel like you got to make the best moves in life to get there in life, just like chess.
Yeah, it's a
And
strategy.
people make different moves, and you make the better moves.
Chess is not the only strategy. There are other types of strategy.
Of course, but that's the strategy I go by.
Maybe you should look into more than one type of strategy.
No, there's other possibilities. I just feel like that's the best strategy that I conquered. I'm open to see other possibilities, but like chess is the best one for me.
See, I like
The
to
best
evaluate.
strategy in the life is to believe in the God.
I
No,
like
that's
to
the worst
evaluate.
strategy.
I like
No,
to evaluate.
it's the best.
I'm in the. I don't. I like to evaluate as many options as possible and use the ones that work and discard the ones that don't work.
Would you use the one that's best for you and the one you think you're the best at?
In that situation, but there's going to be a different situation in which that strategy does not work. So I have to use a completely different strategy. So I should know as many strategies that work as possible, and I should understand why the strategies that don't work don't work.
Yeah, the thing about me is
exactly.
the thing
I
about
wouldn't
go
discard the
ahead.
ones that don't work. I would just set them in a pile and be like,
Sure.
remember that these don't work. You know, because if
Learn
the
from
real
other
failure
people's
is when you
mistakes.
don't remember your mistakes. That's
Oh
where
And
the
man,
learn
real
from
failure
other
this
is.
is
people's
like
mistakes.
this is one of the most cracker ass conversations I ever heard in my life. Just believe in
But
the
there's no
God and
reason to be racist. There's no reason to be racist.
believe in the God and shut the fuck up.
Why
There's
should I
no
accept
What?
your God?
what?
Uh,
Why should I accept your
Cora,
God?
Cora's a troll.
Yeah, I
Okay, why
understand what
should
you're
I
saying.
accept your God?
Me personally, my personal opinion, I don't think about that. I just think about never losing, always succeeding. That's how I am.
The other guy, do you want to answer the question or should we just keep talking to
Answer the question about what? What's up?
I don't know, the other guy. I asked him a question, but I think he's ignoring me. But so if you want to go ahead, go ahead.
Did the troll leave? I don't know.
I think
Okay.
I think he left.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah, it
putting
was a
on
Okay.
hit
Cool.
sunglasses. It's not working.
drive by troll. They say some shit and they jump out.
All right.
Mm-mm-mm.
These were some awesome conversations. I appreciate everybody for sharing. Thank you very much. Also, I'm going to stop streaming now because I don't want to deal with it.
I didn't know you streamed.
Yeah, I started whenever I was being threatened just for my own safety so that I would have some evidence in case something bad happened. I don't know.
Got it.